Hi everyone, this is the National Master Alessandro Santagati, and in this video we'll focus attention about the Hopton attack and especially about the variation h6, bishop h4, g5, e4. And in the last videos we focused attention about rook h7 or knight f6. And if you need more information about that, I suggest you review the first videos about this series. Today, in this video, we'll see the variation with bishop g7, and I think it's the best variation for black against this attack. After bishop g7, it's not a good idea play immediately queen h5, because if you play queen h5 immediately, black can simply play king f8, and if you play bishop g3, black can simply play f takes e4, and without other pieces that you can add for the attack, and with this pawn to defend, I think this variation is not so good for white. So we must pay attention about that, and I think the best move is the easy bishop g3. We go back with the bishop, and now f4 is wrong. Why is wrong? Because if f4, we can simply sacrifice bishop takes f4, and after g takes f4, queen h5 check. King f8, the only move, and now queen f5. After queen f5, if black moves knight f5, knight f6, for example, I can simply retake my piece with e5. And to do an example, after d6, queen takes f4. At the hand, the white will be up a pawn, the bad position for the black king. So it's not a good idea. No, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I mean, yeah, at the end, yes, at the end, one pawn up for white, because white will be 7 pawns against 6. Yeah, so it's true. White will be up a pawn, and with a better position for the white king, so it's clear the advantage of white now. So this position is very interesting. So, okay, if knight f6, white can simply retake the piece. The same thing if bishop f6, because I can simply play e5 again. And if king e8, in this case, I play bishop e2, this simple idea. And now it's very hard to play this position because probably the only move is knight f6. If you play h5, I can simply take, and after rook takes, queen takes, king f8. I can again play check on f5, and if you cover, you lose the piece, so again it's forced to king e8. And now a very nice move for white is queen g4. A very interesting move because I'm simple threat. I'm threatening the bishop on g7, and if you take the pawn, I have another simple move, checkmate on g8. So it's very nice. Okay, so for sure it's impossible for black to move this bishop, and the black is forced to move again the king. So king f8, for example, and I can simply take the pawn f4. King has to go back to e8, and now the white has a very good advantage. Rook and 3 pawns for 2 minor pieces. So white has a winning position. Very, very nice this variation for white. So, yeah, after bishop e2 is forced knight f6 to avoid the bishop h5, but after e5, the white will take the piece simply, and white will be much better. Okay, very well. So we know that f4 is a mistake, a classical mistake that the black often do in this position, but is a mistake. So it's important to understand what's the best variation for black. I think in this position, the best variation for black is f takes e4. If knight f6, an example, we can simply play e5 without problem. Yeah, so not a big move for e5, and if e6, we can simply take the piece, so no problem. Then we get to trade the bishop, so no problem after that. Okay, so I think the best variation is f takes e4, and after f takes e4, my tip is play f3. The idea is open the position because the white strategy is attacking the king side, and usually when you try an attack, it's important to have open lines, and the f3 is useful because you open the f file. It can be very good to attack the king. I think after e takes f3, we can simply take with the queen And if, for example, bishop takes d4, I go bishop d3. Do you take this pawn? Maybe not. There is checkmate, so it's wrong. So take the pawn is impossible, and black has to avoid this mate. It's not a big problem with this mate. Knight f6 seems a good option for black to win the checkmate. Another is a very interesting, tricky move for white, knight d2. The simple idea is attack the bishop and at the same time develop a piece. And the question could be, where bring this bishop? Do you take b2? Maybe, but it's a mistake because there is bishop g6, king f8, and queen b3. And now I'm simply threatening the checkmate, and the next move I will take your bishop because you have to cover the mate. So for example d5, and the white will be a piece up after that. So white can be happy about this variation. So we can go back. So we know that after knight d2, probably maybe it's better bishop back. But in this case, we know that the strategical idea is open the position, and if the idea is open, h4 can be nice for white because the idea is open. The king side, we have a lot of pieces that can help us to attack, the two bishops, the knight on e2, the queen, the rook, and open is a good idea. If g4 to block the position, I can play bishop g6, and after king f8, a very important strategical move is queen d3. Why queen d3? Is not an easy move because the idea is take the square g6. Take the square g6 is very important to attack the king. And to the next example, if now king g7, I will go on f4 with my knight. And if the black don't play well, for example, if black plays 6, I can play simply knight h5. And after that, it will be impossible to defend the square. Because if queen f6, the only way to defend the square, I can simply play rook f1. And then white is winning because you have to move the queen again, and I can go to g6, and it's checkmate. So I won the game. So maybe now black is forced to give the queen for the rook. So it's a very interesting position. So g6 is a very important key square in this position. So queen d3 is very nice. Yeah, probably the best move is after king g7 and knight f4, maybe knight c6, with the idea that if you play knight h5 immediately, there is knight takes, and after bishop takes, rook h7 maybe the only way to save the king to have a new square, and maybe if rook f1, king h8, but it's very strange variation to save the king. Very hard for black to find the right move here. Yeah, so after knight c6 maybe again can be fine this move, or another option can be knight c3 to develop the pieces. And if the black do another move, I don't know, knight e5 to attack the queen and the bishop, again knight h5 is very strong because after knight takes, bishop takes e5, and if you go back with the knight, I can go to d5 with my knight, and very hard to defend this bishop, this knight is very hard to defend g6, and white can play to win the game because I cannot do the rook to attack the knight, and very hard position for black. I think this position is winning for white, so no problem. So it's very nice. Yeah, this attack is very strong for white, I think. So it's fine, yeah. So knight d2, maybe it's better for black play knight c6, so stay with this bishop here. But okay, no problem. I can still play h4, and I can play in a similar way to open the position. So I think this variation is fine for white. Okay, so my tip is this: play f3. But I think after f3 for black is better. Doesn't take, and it's better for black play e3. I think to block the position, much better for him. And after e3, queen d3 is fine. His idea to go to g6, and if king f7 to avoid that, I play h4. Again, I open the position. If knight f6, for example, still h4. Yeah, the same strategical idea. Open the position with this push. And for example, if g4, I develop the pieces. I can simply castle and save my king on the queen side, and for black, this king on e8 would be always a problem. So very hard position for black. So, about this variation, the strategical topic is that the idea is attack on the king side. So, and if the idea is this, it's very important for us open lines and bring the pieces to attack. And at the same time, the idea for the white king will be, say, the white will save it on the queen side without big problem. Thank you for the attention, and see you for the next video about this very interesting series. Bye! Remember to follow me on social networks and share the video with your friends. Thanks!